discussed about this a parallelogram law of vectors. So we say we have P and Q. There are two forces, right? Which is two concurrent coplanar forces, right? So when you have something like this, if the angle between these two forces is theta, then the resultant will be the diagonal of a parallelogram, right? So the resultant will be the diagonal of the parallelogram. So we got resultant, the magnitude of the resultant we use, we derived it and we got R is equal to root of P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta, and the direction is tan alpha is equal to Q sin theta divided by P plus Q cos theta, right? This is what we discussed. Now we use this to solve a particular problem, right? So slowly we'll be entering it, right? So we will solve by using this problem, right? Right? Consider this problem. So they are given theta is equal to 30 degree. So in the diagram, there is a bolt which is having two ropes attached. They mentioned that theta is equal to 30 degree and the tension T is 6 kilonewton. So these two values are given. They're asking what will be the magnitude of the resultant force on this bolt and its direction, right? Measured clockwise from the positive x-axis. What do you mean by this word? Measured clockwise from positive x-axis. Yeah, theta வந்து x ல இருந்து clockwise ல measure பண்ற மாதிரி இருக்கும். Well, that is what they mention. Okay, right. So they've given these two values. This is 6 kilonewton and this is 30 degree, right? Okay. So I will write it like this. So I'm going to use this parallelogram now, right? So let me consider. These are the two forces. One is 6 kilonewton, other one is 8 kilonewton. Now, my aim is to identify what is the angle theta.
Sir, 105.
Yeah, 105. Very good. So
105,
this is 90, right? So you can able to see that this part is 90. So this part will be 90 minus 30, right? Which is equal to 60. So 60 plus 45, right? Then totally it is 105, right? So this is your angle, which is 105 degree, right? Now, based on this particular diagram, I am relating it. I consider this as Q, the green color as Q, and this one as P, right? So which is 8 kilonewton. So now we know theta also. So not this theta, don't get confused. This is different, right? According to the problem. So theta is equal to 105 degree. So what I can do, I can apply the formula. R is equal to root of P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta, right? Which means I will get tan alpha, and of course tan alpha is equal to Q sin theta divided by P plus Q cos theta, right? So just apply it. So R is equal to your P. So make sure your unit is important. So everything I am considering as kilonewton. So which means the value whatever I enter is only this 86, right? Once the answer will also be in this same kilonewton, right? So you match it accordingly, right? Whatever based on the unit you are fixing, you have to identify it. So 8 square plus 6 square plus 2 into 8 into 6 cos 105 degree. Alpha is tan inverse of 6 into sin 105 divided by 8 plus 6 cos 105, right? So when you do that, you will get R is equal to 8.67 kilonewton and alpha is equal to 41.95 degree. Now let us proceed. Alpha is 41.95 degree, right? So but what the question is, they want alpha measured in clockwise from positive x-axis, right? So it says that you have to measure in clockwise in positive x-axis. Okay, right, okay. So let it be. So first, let me mark it in this particular diagram. So alpha is from P, in anti-clockwise direction, right? Alpha is from P and in anti-clockwise direction. So which means from here, your alpha is somewhere here. This will be my resultant, right? This angle is 41.95 degree, right? This angle is 41.95 degree. But you know that the angle with respect to x-axis, the angle with respect to x-axis, this is my axis, x-axis, right? This total angle, what is that? You can able to see here, right? Which is 45 degree. In that case, this angle, I have to identify what is this angle, alpha. This is what they are asking. So from positive clockwise, what is the measurement? Which means 45 degree minus 41.95, right? What is the value? I think it is 3, getting 3.05, right? So your resultant is 3.05. So when you write the answer, you should write it like this, right? So you know that there are 4 quadrants, right? First quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, and fourth quadrant, right? In first quadrant, right, your x is positive and y is also positive. In second quadrant, your y is positive. What about your x?
Negative.
Negative, sir.
In this, your y is negative. Third quadrant, both are negative. Fourth quadrant, your x is positive and y is negative. Okay, right. So with this one comes under which quadrant? So you put a plus. So whatever the resultant you are getting, you put a plus. You can able to see that it is in fourth quadrant, right? You have to mention it like this. So it is in fourth quadrant, and the angle is I am measuring like this, which is 3.05 degree. Right? Any doubt on this?
Sir, in fourth quadrant, the tan on minus.
No. Don't confuse it. இது வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா அது வந்து யூசுவலா வந்து மெஷர்மெண்ட் வந்து ஆன்டி கிளாக்வைஸ்ல இருக்கும். ரைட், நம்ம கிளாக்வைஸ்ல மெஷர் பண்றோம். You don't get confused in that. Okay? So just marking it in which quadrant your force is. Right? So if your force is in second quadrant, I will be drawing something like this. So I will draw like this. And I will mark it like this. It indicates that your force is in second quadrant. Okay? If your force is in third quadrant, I will be marking like this. Right? Whatever the angle you are getting here, you have to mark it. You have to write it here. Right? With respect to, you can able to see the angle is with respect to which axis? The angle is with respect to
X-axis.
x-axis. Very good. So both are, the angle is with respect to x-axis. The same, I can also draw it like this, right? I can also draw it like this. This is also second quadrant. This is also second quadrant. But here, the angle is with respect to y-axis. So this is very, very important. So this is my magnitude and this is my direction, right? So you have magnitude and direction. Okay? Next, law of triangular forces. So similar to your parallelogram law of forces, this is also applicable for coplanar concurrent force. How many forces? 2 forces. Right? It should have only 2 forces. So applicable, what is similar to your parallelogram law. Right? Is that if you have 2 forces, which is at a particular inclination theta, then the resultant is nothing but joining the other force. For example, you can able to see here. So this I am redrawing it. This is my force F1, and this theta I am drawing like this. Okay, the resultant is joining this as a triangle, right? Joining this as a triangle. Okay, this is my resultant force. Okay, so the angle of the resultant will be like this. Now you will have a doubt. why can't we connect it like this? Right? Why can't we connect it like this? So the reason is whatever the two forces given force, that should be in same direction. Right? So for example, if one force is moving in clockwise or anti-clockwise, the other force should also be in anti-clockwise. The resultant alone should be in opposite direction. Right? That is why I'm changing it like this. So you can able to see here, this is my force. Right? When I combine with this force, it is moving in this direction. It is in anti-clockwise. Whereas this force, when I combine with this, it is in clockwise. So it should not be like that. Right? Both should be in same direction. That's why I'm changing it like this. So if I consider here, it is like this, and this also like this. Right? The resultant is alone in opposite direction. These two in same direction, the resultant is in opposite direction. Right? That's why I am changing the force. Right? So only resultant should be in opposite direction. Right? Okay. Now let me consider, these are my angles. So F1 R1, so F1 and R, so the angle is alpha, beta, and gamma. So you can get a relation like this. I can say that F1 by sine alpha, sine beta. So F1 is this, opposite to that angle is beta, right? F1 by sine beta is equal to F2 by sine alpha is equal to R by sine gamma. Right? This is one relation. So all are same. Right? All are same. Right? So this is one relation. The other one, to identify the resultants. Right? If any one pose is not given, you can identify using this formula. So F1 square plus F2 square minus 2F1 F2 cos gamma. You can able to see that. So these are the two forces I know. F1 and F2 I know. I need to identify R. Right? The angle between these two forces is gamma. So I have that. If R and F2 is known, so you can able to see R and F2 is known. So the angle between these two is beta. So I can use that beta. So others I will write it. So this is how you will get it. But anyway, this is not that much important. Mainly this is important. Right? This part is important. Right? So the angle with respect to this. Right? So now we have two sets of formulas. One is parallelogram law, other one is triangle law. Right? So there will be a confusion which one you have to use. Whether go for, it is up to you. Right? It is up to you. So either you can go for a parallelogram law of forces, or you can also apply triangle law of forces to identify. Right? But my suggestion is, whenever in the question, if they ask to identify the angle theta, if they ask to identify angle, questionல angle கேக்குறாங்க அப்படின்னா you go for this triangle law of forces. In the question, if they just ask you what is the resultant and its angle, then you don't need to worry. You can go for parallelogram law. Right? This is applicable if any one angle is missing. They sometimes they will give resultant angle. Instead, they will ask you what is the force angle. In that case, you proceed with this particular triangle law of forces. Right? So because that will be easy. That will be easy to solve the problems. Right? Okay. Right. Let me consider here. So here you can able to see there are two ropes similar to that. They mentioned what is the alpha, which is 30 degree. This is also given. So they are asking you what is the resultant force P. They are asking what is the resultant force P. Right? So this is also a case where you can use triangle law. It's also a case where you can use triangle law. Resultant கேட்டாங்கன்னா you go for parallelogram law. Resultant இல்லாம resultant கொடுத்துட்டு, so if they ask you to identify other forces, right, you can use triangle law. But anyway, you can solve in both. I will show you in both cases. So they are saying that what is the magnitude of the force P if the resultant force exerted on the stake is vertical. So P value என்ன இருக்கும்? So that your resultant is vertical. Your R is vertical. So it is here. R is here. Vertical. Right? At 90 degree. In that case, what will be the thing? And they are also asking what is the corresponding magnitude of the resultant? What is the corresponding angle of the resultant? Right? Can you able to understand the question?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, right. So let us solve by using parallelogram law, right? So you have these two forces, right? So 120 Newton and F is other force, which I don't know. The angle between these two is 25 plus 30, so totally 55 degree. And your resultant is here, right? Now I am using this parallelogram law, right? So இப்போ பாத்தீங்கன்னா யூசுவலா இது ஹரிசாண்டலா நம்ம போடுவோம், இப்போ இது வெர்டிகலா இருக்கு. So it is up to this. So I can compare this as Q and this as P, right? I am relating with respect to that, right? So in that case, what are the values is this given? Can you tell me? Your Q is given, which is 120 Newton. P is not given, which you have to identify. R not given, which you have to identify. Is there any other data given?
Theta is 55, sir.
Yeah, theta is given, okay, which is 55 degree. Then any other?
Alpha is
Alpha
30.
is 30, sir.
Yeah, alpha. Alpha is given. Alpha is with respect to your P, right? With respect to P means it is 30 degree. Right? These are the values which is given, right? We have to use these values, right? So these are the datas which is available. So P is F. We don't know. Q is 120. Theta is 55 and alpha is 30 degree, right? Now we'll solve this. We use the formula, right? All the formulas. R is root of P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta. And since I know the value of alpha, I'm going for that first. So tan alpha is equal to Q sin theta divided by P plus Q cos theta. In this, alpha is 30 degree. I apply tan 30 is equal to 120 sin 55 divided by F plus 120 cos 55, right? You can able to see. So when I cross multiply and if I solve it, I will get the value of F, right? Which is P, right? This is F or P, whatever it is, right? Any doubt in this?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Yeah. நான் இதுக்கெல்லாம் நான் டைம் கொடுக்கல சால்வ் பண்றதுக்கு, ஏன்னா நம்ம சால்வ் பண்ணுவோம், நம்ம தனியா சால்வ் பண்ணுவோம், அதுக்கு வந்து we will discuss, right? Okay, right. So this is your F. Now I identify what is the R. So since I know the value of P, then I can substitute P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta. We substitute it, we identify what is the value of R also, right? So this is how we use parallelogram law to solve this particular problem. Okay, right. The next one, the same problem, right? The same problem. Now I'm going to use triangle law, right? So what I can do, this is the same problem. I am noting it here. So now I consider this as 120 Newton, right? And the other one, so this is my resultant R, which is straight. These two data is known. So my P, right? So this is, of course, this is 25 degree, right? So the resultant and this is 20. So you know that resultant is here. So where will be my P? So P will be like this, right? So along this direction. So P is like this along this direction. We can able to see. So this is the direction of your P, right? So what is the angle of P? Is it possible to identify? No, this is not able to find out, but you can identify with this one because you know that R is your R and this is your P, the angle is 30 degree, right? So the same thing, vertically it is 30, right? So similarly here also vertically it is 30 degree. Now, can you able to identify this one?
125, sir.
You know that inside angle of a triangle is 180 degree, right? So which means this angle will be 180 minus 30 minus 25, right? You will get what is the angle. So that is my beta, right? So beta you can identify, right? So now I can use the formula. So we discussed it. What we discussed? We discussed let so P by opposite angle. What is the opposite angle? Sine 25, right? So 25 degree. So P by sine 25 degree is equal to R by sine beta. What is the value of beta?
125.
125. Yeah. So 125. So R by sine 125 is equal to 120 by sine 30. So this is my formula. Now I can easily relate. If I relate 1 and 3, I'll get the value of P. If I relate 2 and 3, I'll get the value of R. Okay. So that's what. So relating 1 and 3. Right. So we get 120 divided by sine 30 is equal to P by sine 25. So we will get what is the value of P. Now relate, I identify what is the angle beta. After we identify angle beta, let us relate it. So 120 by sine 30 is equal to R by 125. Right? When you do that, you will get the value of R. Right? So now you can understand the difference. So between parallelogram law and this triangle law, right? So it is up, you have to justify where to, so you have to think about it, over it, right? Where to use this triangle law and where to use your parallelogram law, so that it is easy for me to get the solution in a quicker way. So parallelogram பார்த்தீங்கன்னா கொஞ்சம் காம்ப்ளிகேட்டடா போச்சு, ரைட்? காஸ் தீட்டா சைன் தீட்டாலாம் போட்டு கண்டுபிடிக்கிறது. பட் இதுல பாத்தீங்கன்னா சிம்பிள், ரைட்? ஒரே ஒரு இதுதான், ஈஸி, யூ கேன் ஐடென்டிஃபை, ரைட்? So that is what it has some differences, right? You have to know. So usually whenever we required angle or two magnitudes, whenever they ask you to identify two magnitude of the forces, right, you can go for this triangle law. So if they ask a question directly, what is the resultant and what is its angle, you can go for parallelogram law, right? So one important thing is use this only if resultant angle is given. If the resultant angle is not given, then you have some difficulty, right? Because to mark it here, so what is the angle with respect to, there is some difficulty in that. Okay, that is the problem here, right? So there is another problem related to that, right? So you have a tugboat, right? If the resultant of the tugboat is 5,000 force directed along the axis of the barge, what it means? Barge is this one, right? What it means? So this is my resultant. Resultant is here. This resultant is 5,000 Newton. And of course it is straight, right? That you have to identify what is the tension in each rope when the angle alpha is 45 degree, and the value of alpha for which the tension in rope 2 is minimum. So there is a little bit confusion in this. Okay, which one you will use? whether you go for parallelogram law or triangle law. So you can't use parallelogram law here. The reason is there is a question related to minimum tension, right? So and the value of alpha also. So சால்வே பண்ண முடியாதுன்னா சால்வ் பண்ண முடியும், ரைட்? ஆனா காம்ப்ளிகேட்டடா போகும், ரைட்? இட் டேக்ஸ் அரௌண்ட் 30 minutes to solve it. We will be having a trial and error method equation மாதிரி வரும், அப்படி நிற்கும் அந்த equation, right? You try it out, right? Anyway, you try it out and you find out. So the best way is triangle. Okay, so here it is given, so alpha is 45 degree, right? Alpha is 45 degree and this is 30 degree, and your resultant is 5000 Newton straight, right? Resultant is 5000 Newton straight. So I am marking it. So T2, T1, because this should be in same direction, and your resultant is like this. And what is this angle? This angle will be 30 degree, right? Remaining 180 minus 45 minus 30. You will get what is the angle here, which is 105 degree, right? Now I can relate it. What is my relation? So I can write as 5000 divided by sine 105 is equal to, right? First question is tension in each rope. We have to identify what is tension in each rope. So T1 divided by sine 45 is equal to T2 divided by sine 30, right? I can relate 1 and 2 and I can relate 1 and 3, right? When I do that, I'll get the value of T1 and the value of T2, right? Okay. The next step is your alpha is not given now. It is not 45 degree. Now it is alpha, right? In that case, my triangle will be like this. So one is alpha, one is 30, and the remaining is 150 minus alpha. Of course, when you subtract 180 minus 30 is 150, 150 minus alpha. You are getting like this, right? Now the question is, they have to identify what is the tension in rope 2. Which is tension in rope 2? T2, right?
Yes, sir.
Right? T2 is the tension in rope 2. So I am relating it, right? So I am relating T2 and alpha, right? Because I know this value. T1 I don't know, because T1 is applicable only for this condition. This is over. This is one part. So this value of T1 depends on this 45 degree, right? That is over. Now I don't know the value of T1, so I can't solve it. So, but I know the resultant, which is 5000 Newton. So I will relate it. So T2 by sine 30 is equal to, so T2 by sine 30 is equal to 5000 divided by sine 150 minus alpha, right? Now I write it like this, right? I will get T2 is equal to 5000 into sine 30. What is sine 30? It is 0.5, right? I will write it directly. So sine 30 is 1 by 2. So is divided by sine 150 minus alpha, right? So the value of T2 should be minimum. When this value will be minimum, right? Okay. Let me say in some other way. So this one, if the sine value is maximum value, your T will be minimum, because your sine is in the denominator, right? Anything divided by some maximum value, it will reduce the value, right? What is the maximum value of sine?
1, sir.
1. So when you get 1?
90, sir.
90, sir.
90. Okay, that is good. So at theta is equal to 90 degree, I will get 1. right? Which means this 150 minus alpha should be equal to what?
90, sir.
90 degree. So in that case, what will be your alpha?
60, sir.
60, sir.
60 degree, right? This is the answer. Nothing. So I have to identify a minimum value. I have to identify a minimum value. So forget about that thing which I told you earlier, because I think it's confusing by changing the values. I thought of increasing the value slowly and getting it. I think it's confusing. It's going out. So let me go in different way, right? So you consider that T2 is equal to minimum value. To get minimum value, your sine value should be maximum, which means maximum value of sine is 1, which means the angle is 90 degree. So I am substituting 150 minus alpha is 90, which is 60 degree, right? So this is the answer, right? This is the answer. Alpha is equal to 60 degree. So you can't do this thing, second subdivision, in parallelogram law, right? So that's very big confusion, right? If you do in p square q square, you will get something in cos, and it will be in a position, right, where you can't able to identify. So we use trial and error method to find out that value, right? So that is the problem, right? So that's the importance of this parallelogram law and triangular law.